Hello there. It's me, DJ Cuda, right back at the helm of today's show. Got a great show for you guys today. I know you guys have been asking how to use OBS, especially in the space that I'm in. There's a lot of brothers that have been inquiring how to use OBS. I have my OBS brought up right here. And we're going to get into a little bit of tips and tricks on how to use OBS to help you get cross the learning curve of using OBS. Now I would like you guys to support the channel before we get into these tips and tricks. Also, I'm going to teach you guys how to use TubeBuddy, which is a great platform to learn how to to grow your channel and things like that. Also, let me see if I can find my TubeBuddy subscription. Let me see. I got my TubeBuddy handbook. Give me 1 second. Got some other stuff coming up, but anyway, also you can support the channel at Cash App. That's PTV888, or you can check everything out on the banner that's down below. Also, I will have my Anchor, where I will be sharing some more, motivational, motivational speeches on, being a content creator. Also, I will have more tutorials up on Patreon. So now that I got that stuff out of the way, let me share my screen and show you guys what I look like on OBS. So let me go over to OBS, and I'm going to show you guys how to use other other different apps like Loopback and some other things that I have here. And most of that stuff is going to be on my Patreon. Also, I'm going to show you guys, I think there's a little bit of a lag here, but we'll work through it. I'm also going to show you guys how to basically use OBS, but a lot of that content is definitely going to be on Patreon. If you want, you can, go through, you can go through YouTube. There's a lot of tutorials that's on YouTube for free. But for the specific people that are subscribed to me, I'm going to show you guys how to use OBS. Now, I'm in my poorly lit, green screened studio here, which with the green screen, a lot of people want to know how to use green screen. OBS definitely can use green screen. I will do a tutorial on that later, but you guys have to learn the basics. The basics to a green screen, which I'm moving stuff around in my studio. This is why it's poorly lit. Which I have the huge light right here, which can light this whole thing. I just need to move shit around. So the basics with with OBS and the green screen is that you don't want to cast a shadow, because then you'll get shadows like this, and then you'll get shadows like that. Moving this light will help take certain shadows away, but then you see how it has a glare right there. So there's different little things that you can do when it comes down to running a green screen and things like that. I actually have two of these huge ass lights right here, and that tutorial I probably will put on Patreon, and I'll show you exactly what lights I have there. But getting into using OBS, it could be a hassle because there's a learning curve here. So what you want to do is, what we're going to do is we're going to get into let me make sure that my screen is still sharing. Okay, good. We're going to take this banner away. Hopefully you guys have utilized the Cash App, All right, so we're going to take this banner away, and what we're going to do is we're going to make this screen bigger, okay? Now, what we're going to be doing here, and there's probably a delay that's being recorded here because it takes a delay for it to send the StreamYards, but hopefully on the playback, everything looks good. And if there's a delay, fuck it. It's still free information. I have a lot of just different weird scenes set up. Now, you guys caught me at the right time because I got a new computer, and my OBS that was on that was on my PC, it's hard to transfer all of that over to Mac. So what I'm doing here is I'm setting up a new scene. Now, this is a video game scene. My bad, y'all. So we're going to switch that. And OBS has changed over the years. So what I'm doing right here is this comes up here at the top once you set up a new scene. Also, they have a mini toolbar right here so you can play around with the scene that you got. So OBS has changed over the years. The updates have been getting better. So let's say OBS school right here, and that's going to be the name of of my my classes that I will have on Patreon, called OBS school. So I put OBS right here. Now I didn't fully write OBS in the scene because I wanted to show you guys what else you can do. So when you pull up a new scene, it will go black and it will go blank, just like how it goes blank right here. What you can do over here, if you need to rename or do something or remove a scene, right here down in this left hand corner, which you guys have your scenes, and you can always change where you want to put your scenes. You can go to rename, and it'll click down there, and then that's when you can add school. So now we got our scenes called OBS school. Now there's nothing here. So each scene that's down here has what's called a source. And if there's nothing here in the source, OBS will project nothing. Okay. And I'll show you guys how to open and put some sources in each scene. So each scene has a different source, and you can source things into every scene that you have. Now, this is my video game Chroma Key. So what happened was with Apple, there's a lot of different things, but there's a lot of different things you can do with OBS. With Apple, I was having a hard time filming my video games with me in the background and the game playing in the background and everything. So I had the bright idea to get a green screen picture, put that in on OBS. So that's why you have this image here. And then I have a green screen, and all I got to do is just use my capture device with the green screen on. Boom. Once I go into the game, once I cam up with using my OBS virtual camera and get to the game settings, now I will get the background once I use the Chroma Key from the video game settings. So we'll get into more interesting things like that. But first, we have to go to our new scene that we added, which is blank, and we need to add in some something, something extraordinary. So I have a bunch of different things here. So what you'll do is you'll go to this plus sign, and you'll get this, this list right here. And you can do things like window capture if you want to capture your screen or a specific window, video capture device. This way you can set up all of your cameras. I got a bunch of cameras here that I can set up in this capture device, and cameras that I do have set up. You can put some text up onto the screen. Siphon client, I don't know what that is, but it does have a video game logo. So maybe you can do multi-screen share. Scene, these are bullet points. NDI source, which is something that I had to download for Apple because I didn't have the correct capture card, which will come up under the video capture device once I get everything really put together. And that card will be coming in later, so I will have a new tech show for you guys and show y'all the difference between a regular capture card and the new one that I'm ordering. It's actually 3 of them, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Media source is if you have a video or anything that has audio and video together that you would like to be played, such as commercials, such as a video that you would like to share, and many different other things. Jack input client, I'm not sure what that does. Image slideshow, I'm pretty sure something that you can set up, and you can have a whole bunch of scenes that transition into each other, or you can manually do it by transitioning from scene to scene. Also, I'm going to show you guys how to hook up, your Elgato Stream Deck with your OBS, and show you how to switch from scene to scenes with the click of a button. That way you don't have to really use your mouse here, but we'll talk about that later. Images are like pictures. So if you have a picture or something that you want to keep in your background, that's what you would use. Display capture, again, to display your screen. So it captures your display. Color source, not sure what that does. Browser, which is to bring up a internet an internet oh, actually, I've never tried to use browser. I should try to use browser to bring up your browser. And basically, I guess you can show people articles and things like that. Audio output capture and audio input capture are basically self-explanatory. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just build a scene. So you have your old school. I got OBS old school here. The scene is still blank. I need to add in some sources. So what I would do is I will add my video right here. And I already have about 5 different capture devices set up. So I will go to add existing. But what you would do right here will be create new. And then you will add which video capture device that you want. Now I have a video capture device already added. So once I do add existing and I click it, I should pop up here on your screen. Now that I popped up here on your screen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move myself downward. Also, what I can do is I can take these corners right here and expand my video. I can expand myself and become a lot bigger. Or if I want to, I can go a lot smaller. Okay. And this is to make yourself go a lot smaller. I can go real small. I can be like right down here in the corner. I could be so small that I can damn near disappear. So that's what you can do. And you can move yourself around as much as you want. You can place yourself in the middle. Also, if you don't know how to really, move things around and place yourself, what OBS does, which is really neat and pretty cool, is that you can go down here, and this is my favorite. Nigga, I abuse the shit out of this motherfucker right here. My bad. I don't know why I'm cursing. Damn, it's supposed to be for kids too. I'm sorry. I have a potty mouth. All right. So you can go down here and you can go to fit the screen, and this will fit everything to screen and have everything uniformed and everything showing up well. Or what you can do is you can go to transform right here, and you can go to stretch to screen, and this will make everything big. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with OBS, and there's a lot of different things that you would probably like to do with OBS. Or you could just take your screen and go right back down to this, back to where you started. So you have your scene here. Let's say I wanted to add like let's say a image, right? So I'll go to a new image, right? And I will pick out from a whole bunch of images that I have laying around here on my on my computer, because I image hoard. I horridly save a lot of different images. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit on how. No, I'm not going to show you guys how to use Chroma Key. You got to walk, you got to crawl before you walk. So I got some images here, and let's see. Let me see if I can find another one. All right, I got an image of a dog here that's thinking, because you guys should be thinking when you look when you're watching what I'm doing. You guys should be thinking and understanding what I'm trying to show you. So I have an image of a dog right here thinking, right? And now that I have this image selected, I can either double click it or I can press open right here. And now this image will pop up right here. Now you can do unload image when not showing, because a lot of times too, your CPU usage goes up when you have images, or you have media playing and stuff like that. So that's another problem that people have with your images and stuff, or your media player. Sometimes over time, when you have OBS for a long time and you just been doing show after show after show, you have to remember to unload image while it's not showing, or else your computer is going to be playing those images. So what you can do is now, and you have a small property bar right here that no, cancel. You have a small properties bar right here that you can go into, you know, where you can play around with your image. So you can go back to browse, or you can, you know, do a whole bunch of different things when it comes down to your images right here. And you know, you can basically just play around with it. You can move this dog around. What happens is now, what happens is when you have an image, if you notice down here in your sources, your image is on top. So what happens is, a lot of y'all don't notice that this image is on top of my video capture image. So if I have this image in front, it will block me out. But if I take this and I swap it, now I'm in front of the image and the dog is behind me. See that? So a lot of times, you know, you got to learn how to, to how to play with your images. Now I can swap it back, and now the dog is over top of me. So you have your layering all right there, all in one. Also, what happens is you can do the same thing. You can transform it and you can fit it to screen, or what you can do with the image is, what I like to do is, you can stretch it. Okay. Now, also what you can do with it with the transform is you can rotate it. You can rotate it again, and you know, you can just rotate it. You can do the whole circle, you know, and you can set your color. You can do a whole bunch of things, you know, with this image. And if I want to come back over top of this image, this is how I will come back over top of this image. Now, I have my green screen set up, and I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. Now, and you can select your device right here. I have my green screen set up, so I'm going to come in, I have my, my Chroma key on, so I'm going to come in behind this image. Usually, if you have stuff behind you and things like that, um, you know, you will block it out. This dog wouldn't be behind you or nothing like that. But this is, the goodness of, Chroma Key and stuff like that. I can do a lot better also with going into my let me get that out there. I can do a lot better with going into my camera settings and how it, crops myself out in comparison to the colors and things like that. So that's why I wore black today, to kind of have a neutral color. All right. Now, what else you can do is, you have to understand which, which window you have selected, and that's going to be outlined by red. Okay. Now, sometimes when you're editing or you're moving your scenes, you don't want to move your scene around like this. So to stop that from happening, what you can do is, you can right click and go into your your taskbar, and what you can do is, you can lock it from here. Or let's say if you wanted to switch something, well, no, we won't switch it. I'll show you to do that, how to do that later. You can go down here to your sources and you can lock it. And once it's locked, you can't move it. You can't mess around with it. You can't, it's locked. If you want to move it and mess around with it, then you can unlock it. Okay. So to keep yourself, because sometimes you'll be editing and sometimes it'll lock your screen. I mean, it'll, you'll move something that you don't want to move. So make sure, if you want something to stay in place while you're editing something else or adding in another scene, that you lock it. Okay. Now, if I want to move my, see how it's blue? Now, if I want to move my capture device, I can double click on it or keep clicking on it like 3 times, and it'll go back to my capture device. Or I can select my capture device from this, from the source scene. And that way I know which one I'm editing and which one that my mouse is locked on to. And, I can do a whole bunch with it. Okay. So this is basically teaching you guys a little bit of the basics on how to, import a scene, right? and edit the sources that's in that scene. Now, if I want to go back to where I was before, back to my video game Chroma Key, I go right back here, click another scene. Thank you guys for kicking it with me. This has been a small tutorial on how to use OBS. I showed you guys how to create a scene. I showed you guys how to import some sources, and I'll show you guys how to do some other things later. Make sure to follow me over at Anchor. Make sure to follow me here on YouTube, and make sure you follow me on Patreon while I figure out how to bring some more tricks and tips to you on OBS School. I will be putting out some small tricks and tips here on YouTube, but if you want to get some exclusive stuff and get some more game on how to use OBS, yeah, hit that Patreon, man. And it's gonna be first level, low tier Patreon. All of the advanced stuff, I don't know. I'm learning how to set up Patreon, so make sure you guys follow me over there. I will have some more videos, and I will be seeing you guys later, man. It's been real. Thank you guys for following me here on YouTube. But yeah, definitely gotta give you guys a round of applause. Thank you guys for taking the next step in your future. Make sure you guys play back this video. To basically, God damn. Well, okay. Well, I gotta go, y'all. See y'all later. It's player talk.